Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Today, I'm your host, Suryansh, for this evening, and we have as our guest Aryan Satwah, who is a first year student at Amity Institute of International Studies, and we are doing this podcast today on the topic of basically, I would like to change it to the agenda: the impact of friendships on youngsters' mental health. As our core aim will be the mental health. And so, Aryan, would you like to start and please introduce yourself on your words as well?
First of all, thank you so much, Suryansh, for inviting me to this call. Hello,
Yes.
everyone. As Suryansh introduced, my name is Aryan Satwah. I'm a first year student from Amity Institute of International Studies, and I'm extremely excited to talk about the topic impact of friendship on youngsters' mental health.
So, Aryan, as we are dealing with 2024 today, uh, there are numerous numbers of aspects of friendship these days. We talk
Hmm.
about positive aspects, we talk about negative aspects, and even if we talk about the potential negative impacts, we talk about peer pressure, toxic relationships, social comparisons, and etc. etc. The list goes on basically.
Yes.
And there's obviously the positive aspect as well. And this depends on the person to person, right? Obviously, so someone's experience can be good and someone's can be bad as well. Suppose
Yes. Yes.
if I'll take my example, I have been very lucky in my friendships throughout my life. So I'm only 20 years old, but I have had bestest friends ever in my life. Like whomsoever I have made a friend, and somehow the friendship and the relationship has turned out to be the best for me.
Yes.
And if I talk about for the latest one, it's you, my best friend today. It's so good to have you.
I am actually very happy that you consider me to be your best friend. I'm honored.
Okay, so let's start with this podcast and this topic.
Hmm.
So, uh, elaborate yourself about the friendship aspect of your life. I would like to know it from you. Like, let's start with initially, like how it started in your life. Who was your first friend? Who you consider your first friend? How it impacted your life? How it shaped your life? And yeah, and that only you can go on.
Well, before I actually start explaining about my experiences, I'll just define what is friendship to the listeners. In
Mhm.
my opinion, friendship is a state of enduring affection, esteem, intimacy, and trust between two people, right? And different cultures have different benchmarks of friendships. But
Mhm.
now, talking about my friendships, I was very young when I had friends in my own society,
Mhm.
but that was not a very pleasant experience. I was
Mhm.
constantly bullied by my friends. So bullying was a very integral part. They used to pick on me because I was quite weak. But despite
Okay.
that, I had a few good friends in my school and my society who stood up for me because I was the immature one, to be honest. So they always covered up for me whenever I was trapped in any shenanigans. So I had good friends, but I also had quite bad friends as well.
Mhm.
And I do have some very deep scars because of my previous friendships. What I have learned is that you need to be very, very choosy and you need to be very, very cautious when you make friends. If you make the wrong friends, uh, you are in a very, very bad situation. For me,
Indeed, you're right.
any relationship is a kind of investment, right? You invest your emotions, your time, your affection, and if you invest badly, then you will get bad results.
Indeed,
I
indeed.
I have experiences where I got terrible results, but as of
Mhm.
now, with you, the investments are paying back pretty good results. Pretty good results
Oh,
after the calamity.
I'm honored. I'm honored. Yeah, I really like that angle. As you're saying that from the very beginning, your experience was not that good, but
Mhm.
moving forward in your life, and you saw a good aspect as well, as we mentioned in the starting, only the positive and the negative aspects.
Yes,
And it's
yes,
not at times it's not even about the aspects as well. I would consider it's about the people, right? As
yes,
you
yes,
especially mentioned, ki you have to be very choosy when you choose friends.
Yes,
I
yes.
completely agree on that. I would like to share my personal experience as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a wanderer in my life. Due to because of my father's job, I always had to travel from this city to this city. But
Mm-hmm.
so still that there was a place when I was there for 7 to 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I made friends for life.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I, they are the part of my childhood. They are the ones who with whom I came to the teenage.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there are four people in my group. We all four we are still together. We still talk, though we all are completely spread out in this whole country there to there. But we still talk. We still take the time out for each other. And I just say that whenever I talk with them, no, then the level of fondness and the level of I would say security I feel in the
Yes.
relationship. See, in these days, like when you don't talk to people for like
Mm-hmm.
a month, even a week, so people just mention like, oh, you're going too out of hands, you don't talk to me anymore, this and that, blah blah blah. But it never felt with them. Like whenever I had just called my friend few days back after 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all so same. No grudges, nothing. It was so beautiful talking to him after years.
Yes.
Like my mom also came and she was looking, oh, it's so long I haven't seen you on call, and it was quite wholesome talking with them. I really
Yes.
like that. Like this is how a friendship should be. Even if you not able to talk, this other person should be understanding as well, right or
I
not?
Yes, I do find that quite relatable, and I would use my experience as well. I had a friend group in my school. When I was in my ninth or tenth grade, we used to go for sleepovers at each other's place.
That's
And
nice.
despite being after so many years, we graduated in 2021. It's been 3 years.
Mm,
Despite that, we do casually talk on certain occasions. We have met, and it's still the quite same. I think what you're trying to say, and what even I experience, is that when you grow up with someone, when you spend your teenage life with someone, they actually have that ability to understand you well because they have seen you through and through. They have seen your good side and your bad side, and you feel more secure because usually humans have a fear of judgment. Whatever
indeed.
we do because we don't want to be judged. But with them, जिनके साथ हमने पूरा बचपन निकाला है, जिनके साथ
It's
हमने
never the
टीनेज,
case.
yes,
Exactly.
because it's the most embarrassing part of our life, to honestly.
True.
ठीक है,
True.
हमने
True.
टीनेज बहुत बहुत ऐसी चीजें करी है जो हम शायद कभी किसी को बोलेंगे भी नहीं. बट जिन लोगों
Exactly.
ने
I would never like to mention about my past relationships with the people I have with.
even even I have done very weird shenanigans when I was in my teenage. बट जिन लोगों ने वो देखा है, दे नो यू, तो वो जज नहीं करते आपको. सो आई थिंक आई स्टिल, अगर मैं आज भी अपने किसी स्कूल फ्रेंड से बात करूं, माय क्लोज स्कूल फ्रेंड्स, आई वुड फील एब्सोल्युटली सिक्योर विद देम to talk to
Indeed.
them. That is something which will always remain there. No matter how many people I talk to, बचपन के दोस्त तो बचपन के दोस्त होते हैं. No one can replace them, definitely.
Exactly. Exactly. When we grow up now, like the people you're gonna meet, they're always gonna meet you for some kind of purpose.
Exactly.
But it's the childhood friends who don't have any purpose in it, but they are just there. They only exist for no reason, but they do. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this relationship we share with them. How
Absolutely.
amazing.
And somehow when I talk to them, मुझे मेरे बचपन के दिन बहुत vividly याद आ जाते हैं. तो all the things we used to do. It's a very wholesome experience to relive those
I
moments
see.
again.
It's always about no, that conversation we have. You remember
हाँ
when we
हाँ,
used to
but
do that? That's completely amazing, man.
it's very wholesome. Yes, yes, yes.
The nostalgia which comes with that. Damn.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I guess we just slightly went into nostalgia. We were talking about the impact of fencing on youngsters' mental health, and we completely started to the
Big.
nostalgia part. So, I would like to come forward with the agenda only.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the youngsters' mental health. The mental health, this term has got limelight in the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
We could see that very deliberately. You
Yes.
know, I, I, I would see I have had of deep issues with these things, but not with friendships. Friendships have always been in a positive way for me. But
Mm-hmm.
I also had a bad experience as well. One of my friends in class 12th, not a friend anymore, of course. back then. She backbitched about me in quite a negative way, and I was thinking that she was helping me around for all the time. That was my first encounter. Like in class 12, so you're not that naive. Cause I was always lucky in the relationships, so I thought कि this will also will be that I'll get lucky in this one as well. This will be a trustable friend, but somehow I got mistake. I got mistake,
Mm.
and it turned out to be a worse experience for me. And that time impacted my mental health so badly that I had to be on pills. Uh, I was not able to focus on my study. It was my class 12 board, and that time taught me a lot as well. When I was dealing with all those things, when of course it was because of one enemy whom I thought to be a friend. That
Mm-hmm.
time only when I was dealing with all those things, on the other side there were my friends only who were helping me. You know how
Mm-hmm.
amazing is that? Like, how ironic is that? A friend who hurt me, and there's the friend who is getting me out of that as well. Like there were two of my friends. I would like to mention them as well. My best friends, Sanvi and Satvik. They were always there for me. Whenever I needed them, they were there. When I was in that situation, if I could call them at night at 3 only, Satvik came to my home as well at 4 in the morning. And considering the amount of strict parents we have in society, it's next to
Mm-hmm.
so he sneaked out of his house just to cater me down, just to look after me if I'm doing fine or not.
Yes,
And I
yes.
and I really at times I just feel like I owe them my life. See the way they have taken me, that they have taken care of me at that time. So as we're talking about that, the impact on mental health, the friendship which impacted me so badly, and it was the friendship only which cured me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So amazing. Uh, these experiences I'm sharing it with you that I want to know your aspect on this, like how it shaped your as well, like how it shaped uh, your life and how it impacted you as well.
Well, first of all, I am extremely sorry that you had to go through such an experience that you had
Uh,
to go on. I did have a similar experience. I will not go in the details of that experience because it's extremely traumatic for me. But at one point of time, I was in a situation. Well, to give a context, I had a very good friend. She was from down south,
mhm,
and I was also good friends with her boyfriend as well.
mhm,
Now, I considered her to be my sister. We used to share gifts on Raksha Bandhan. She tied me Rakhi. It was a very deep connection, in my opinion. I don't know from her side, but मेरे लिए तो था.
I see.
At one point of time, I was in a spot. I was in an extremely difficult situation in my life where I terribly needed support. Like it was basically when a lot of people stood up against me, and I needed. And unfortunately, she fed me to the wolves. She- And that was, I think, one of the most one of the deepest points of my life. Uh, एक point एक कहावत है rock bottom. I hit the rock bottom of my life at that point. I even had
Mhm,
suicide thoughts, not because of the friendship. Friendship was a part of it, but because of the entire situation. But the betrayal of my so-called best friend definitely contributed to this thought. एक हिंदी
mhm,
में है, जो हम दोनों के लिए बहुत अच्छा फिट होता है कि एक बुरे दोस्त से 100 दुश्मन बेहतर है. बिकॉज 100 दुश्मन जैसे भी हो वो मुंह पे आपको गाली देंगे, बट जो बुरा दोस्त है वो आपकी पीठ पीछे काम करता है. So it is better to have 100 enemies than a bad friend. But even at that time, I did have a female friend who was there for me. I will not name her, but her emotional support at that time, the way she prioritized my feelings, the way she cared for me, even though we were not like वो किसी और सिटी में थी, मैं कहीं और था, बट जो उनका सपोर्ट था इट डेफिनेटली वाज अ लाइफ चेंजर फॉर। तो मेरे हिसाब से फ्रेंडशिप्स कैन मेक एंड ब्रेक यू, विच इज व्हाई आई सेड फ्रेंडशिप्स में आपको बहुत चूजी होना पड़ता है, बिकॉज नॉट एवरीवन आउट देयर डिजर्व्स योर एनर्जी। इफ यू कीप इन्वेस्टिंग इन एवरीवन, you will definitely drain yourself out. Be very choosy. And
Absolutely.
I made that mistake. That was a mistake which I made, which is why I say that friendships can make or break you, and you need to be choosy about it, right?
Completely. Completely.
Had I not been friends with my so-called sister, I think I
Mhm.
would be in a position, because मैं बच सकता था या फिर मैं थोड़ा सा I would have given time to someone else, but that did not happen. So yeah, my experience with friendship has been a bit bitter sour, and it's a bit of sweetness as well. So सब कुछ ही मिला है मुझे friendship के। I've experienced अभी तक,
all of the life experience covered into side, right?
and I'm quite happy. मैं actually आज अगर मुझे मौका मिले, I would thank that girl for betraying me, because had I not experienced that at a very young age, I would not have learned the experience, and that experience is very crucial because now I have a better perspective on friendships. And see, I won't say that I was the right one. Even I made a lot of mistakes. I was not the kind of person someone would like to be friends with. But ठीक है, गलतियां सबसे होती हैं. I made some mistakes and I learned from it. So yeah.
I see. And yeah, your experience have like, eventually your experience has shaped you who you are right now.
Yes, definitely.
Right, right. Like, see, that's how it affects your mental health and which have shaped the both of us. Right, the same condition we have dealt. Not exactly what we. I know. Obviously, you must have dealt a bit
Hmm.
more than me or might less than me. I'm not completely aware of it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it eventually has shaped us like who we are, and that's what the friendship is. You know, my mother used to say like when कि सारे रिश्ते तो हमें भगवान बना के देता है, but the friends are the one we choose ourselves.
Yes, definitely.
And that's why the bad decisions are supposed to be wise enough to take, though if it comes out to be a good one. So that was it. I would like to on this note only, I would like to end this podcast. It was so nice to have you, Aaron. It was so nice to have a chat with you. Thank you so much. Would
The
like to
feeling.
add something?
Good night.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.